Hi everyone, this is Hillary.
Hey, and it's Jenny, and my dog that is jangling on top of me. Stop it, Ziggy.
It's Ziggy Stardust Mullen Jr.
Just like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, what is today?
Today is June 3rd, Wednesday, June 3rd. It is 8:28 p.m. Eastern Time.
Nice. I have been in a motorhome since Saturday, so on a beach. So I don't know what day it is.
Yeah. That's the day. I promise I'm right.
I believe you. I just understand that as we are escaping from the world, our world is exploding. So
yes, it is.
We thought we don't want to take up much of your all's time at all. But we thought we'd come on and just real quick talk about what's going on and some resources that maybe you could use to help.
This is in lieu of our weekly COVID check-in.
Yes.
But the gist of it is we've been having basically a giant race protest in our country. If you don't know the news, I can't imagine that people don't know the news even all over the world, because there are protests in Dublin, in London, everywhere. But on May 25th in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a 46-year-old black man died after a police officer kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes and killed him. And he wasn't resisting arrest. He wasn't armed. He begged for his life, and he
had a fake $20 bill.
This white police officer killed him, murdered him, literally murdered him in cold blood.
While people watched on.
While people watched, and people tried to. I haven't seen the video. I don't want to see it. But I have a friend that saw it and told me, and there were people trying to intervene, but other police officers kept pushing them back.
Right. Right.
And there were other people calling 911, trying to get different police officers, like trying to help this poor guy who was begging for his life, and he died.
Yeah. As of today, they had charged this police officer with third-degree murder. As of today, that has been upped to second degree, and I believe the other 3 officers have charges against them too, which I don't know what those charges are.
They are aiding and abetting a second-degree murder.
Okay.
My thought today that if those men aren't convicted, I don't even know what's going to happen in our country.
The amount of, I know that the number of people of color in our country that have been hurt and killed by police officers is innumerable, but the amount that have been in the news, and then I don't know that anyone has been convicted.
No, I don't think
just,
that
from over the years.
Yeah. And I understand being a police officer, you generally do have a split second to make a decision, but a lot of times these are people unarmed sitting in their car, or like this gentleman was walking, he was in his car and they pulled him out of his car. Thought he used a $20 bill. And let me just say this, I have 3 different occasions gone to take my work deposit to the bank and had counterfeit money in it. It wasn't my counterfeit money. I don't know who brought it in. But I had no way to know. I could have made change, I could have broken my own $100 bill or something and gotten the money out. I think that, I don't think this gentleman was printing his own money. So the arrest to begin with was pretty unwarranted. But since then we've had protests every night. Some have been peaceful, some have really, really not been peaceful. I'm moved by the peaceful ones. I saw half of a protest last night in my city. I mean, I saw it on Facebook Live, but it was amazing. The police and the protesters like took a knee together and then prayed and hugged each other, which I was just like, you shouldn't do that with COVID, but it needed to be done.
Right.
It was healing,
Right. I know. So we aren't in Cleveland right now, but we hear from our friends in Cleveland that
yes,
there's been some extreme destruction in our downtown. Buildings and businesses are just absolutely ruined. But from what I've heard from, I guess, secondhand accounts, friends of friends, is that the peaceful protesters and the police have been aligned and helping one another, and it has been outside groups that have been coming in.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Causing so much of the destruction. Yeah,
that's what happened last night in Hampton. I mean, I saw people throwing tear gas, but I wasn't sure if they were trying to like round up people to get them out, and it was just like, I didn't see it, and it hit anyone.
right.
I didn't see anyone react to it, but apparently they were on the other side of the parking lot. They did throw tear gas at people that were breaking windows and looting and stuff. I never saw any of that. And the people who were marching said, like, if someone started to get rowdy, they called them out immediately on it. Like, this is not what we do.
Right.
It was absolutely amazing. The thing is that I think that our president is wanting the full out race war. I mean, he's
actively fueling the fire.
He's fueling the fire. He had a photo op. Yeah. At an Episcopal church in DC where there were peaceful protesters, and he had them shot with rubber bullets and tear gas just so they weren't in the photo op with him. I mean, which is just the most brutal thing. Who the hell?
I can't wrap my brain around that.
He also
the news was that Attorney General Barr made that order.
Yeah. Well, he works for the president. The buck stops there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but anyway, he also wasn't permitted to be at the church. No one had authorized that. And the Episcopal, the diocese in DC is none too thrilled about that.
Absolutely.
It's just absolutely terrifying.
The photo op was him holding a Bible.
Right. Not opening a Bible, not looking at it, just kind of like it in his hand, flailing it around.
Like he doesn't even know how to hold a book.
No. No.
Oh my God.
And so he's been blaming everyone in the world for this. Democrats, governors, whoever, who's not anyone that's not a white Republican man.
Right.
He said in a tweet yesterday, which I think he maybe took down, but I'm not positive about that, that he had been contacting governors, and hundreds of governors had asked him to call in the National Guard for militia. Well, we only have 50 states.
And there's one governor per state.
Yes. So no, liar. That did not happen.
No.
Did not happen. He is just a disgusting human that I actually think we've never said anything. We've never said anything that I've always known this. But on our podcast, I don't think that we've spoken of the president in as harsh as we are now. But
no,
man, he deserves it. He needs to go. He needs to.
It's getting so fast.
Yeah.
He's destroying us.
And on purpose. I think he knows what he's doing.
We are imploding. Yeah.
And he had a tweet I think this morning that said, or maybe it was yesterday too, that said that the Trump administration had done more for African Americans than any other administration since Lincoln.
I can't. I had no other response.
No, I can't.
I'm
I'm speechless. I don't even know what the hell. He's sick. He's mentally ill.
Okay, well, so should we, if people are curious, I would love to give some tips and pointers on ways that people can help. Because I know that a lot of us are feeling really helpless, and some of this stuff may seem pretty obvious, but it's so important. And eventually, I'm away from any major source of Wi-Fi or computer. So I will add these things to our website early next week, for sure. And we'll tweet about that and put that out when you know the resources are there. But for now, get a pen and paper. We'll wait a moment. And some of the major things you can do is just support groups that do work against anti-white supremacy. And that's whether it's Black Lives Matter nationally or local chapters, the NAACP, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is a group of lawyers who actively fight hate crimes. They take the Klan to court all the time and win. Color of Change, who actually, if you go to act.colorofchange.org, I think they have a petition right now that is really easy to sign and a really quick way to help. The Bail Project, which is an organization that helps provide bail money for people that have been arrested. And then another really good one is Campaign Zero, which is an organization devoted to police reform. So those are all places. If you can sign up for their newsletters, you can get more information, you can donate, anything you can to support these organizations that are doing everything they can to lift up and support people of color. Many of them are run by people of color, which is also so important. Of course,
I'd like to suggest one.
I want to hear it
as well. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union.
Absolutely.
They're always my birthday fundraiser every year.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, if you are an American, you need to register to vote, and you need to learn about the people who are running for office. I want you to research people of color, and I want you to find people of color that you want to vote for, because we need representation for those people in our governments, both locally, especially locally. Of course, vote for the president and the Senate and that kind of stuff, but go to your local governors and mayors and stuff, your people who represent you in your town. I had another one. Call and write your local and state government. Tell them you want to find out more about how police departments work, how the jail system works in your state, in your city. See what you can learn and see if there's a way that you can help. And then, of course, just listen to people. Come on, folks. Part of the reason we're in this whole mess is because some people think they're better than others and won't listen to their problems. One of the greatest quotes I've heard recently is that rioting is the sounds of the unheard.
Yes.
People don't start with riots. It's when when no one is listening to them. And I know there's so many peaceful protests, but there are people that are so angry, and rightfully. We must listen and not talk back and not make suggestions. Just listen.
And we're just past the time of being polite. I feel like I mean, I feel like I've been like that. Like I probably, and I mean, I'm outspoken with things like this, but I feel like I probably have kept my mouth shut about people, you know, with saying racist comments far more in my life than I should have. And I'm
Yes.
past that. Like I don't need a friend, quote unquote friend, who is racist, who is, you know, just that simple-minded, that small-minded, and just awful.
Yeah.
And I'm done with that. Like
And I think a huge problem is that some people, I think someone replied to one of your posts about this, that so many people who are racist don't know that they're racist.
Yes. Right. Then that also made me think, well, I don't think I'm a racist. So am I a racist? Except though
No.
it's not really funny, but no, I'm not. I am very certain that I'm not. There's my neighborhood, I have this wonderful I live in a wonderful neighborhood, and they're organizing small protests on a street corner in my neighborhood, and I want to do it so bad, but we're stuck in this COVID crap.
Yeah.
And in terms of my anxiety, I don't think I can do that. So I think I'm gonna help, like, organize it online and not go, because
there's so much you can do that does not involve showing up.
No, and
there's so many ways you can help.
I'm really
that does not
for this.
involve putting you in danger.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm really for that. I've just worked really hard to stay healthy and try to, you know, be away from people so I don't get them sick in the event that I'm sick and don't know it. And I'm not there yet. I can't. I want to. I think I'm going to make some signs tomorrow to give to my friends, but I can't. I don't think I can go.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I sitting here from the beach, I donated to Black Lives Matter today. I sent an email to I think it was the police commissioner in Minneapolis, and I have signed a few petitions. And when I get back tomorrow, I hope to do some more work. There's a great organization called Vote Save America. You can go to their website and you can adopt a state. Like, for instance, if you live in a really blue area that votes Democratic, and you're like, well, I don't need to, everyone here is going to vote the way I vote, so it doesn't matter. You can adopt a state and make phone calls and send letters and encourage people to register to vote and get the vote. And I'm going to do that. My sister and my mom and I are all adopting Florida. So we can get out the vote. We can get out the vote there, because this November, y'all, oh my God. And with this whole COVID thing, we need people to register to vote by mail.
Yeah.
We must, because we need the numbers. And if this COVID stuff is still going on, people aren't going to show up to the polls. So check out that site too.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to hear my police chief and the police chief of my neighboring city where I work speak yesterday, and the thing that kind of blew my mind was that they just flat out apologized. They had nothing. I mean, we're in Virginia. Those gentlemen had nothing to do with this, but it's their career. And if you know, they can't get the police department to, you know, in Minneapolis to apologize and do the right thing, then the buck stops with them as well. And I've just been so moved by that, because you're right, what you said before, it really does seem like the police and the organized protesters are united. Definitely united. Yes. The other thing that I was thinking about, if you look at the picture of the stills. Again, I haven't seen the video and I want to, but if you look at the photos of this man being killed, you know, Bono's Mephisto that doesn't wear, you know, that took off his costume, that took off his mask for E&I, that's no joke. I mean, these people can just walk around looking like everybody else, and it's okay these days to murder people, and just because of the color of their skin. And it's heartbreaking. I can't even process this.
And the fact that, you know, we thought we'd made so much progress and all these people were just living in the shadows, and now they're just out in the open. Mm-hmm. You're right. It's Mephisto got rid of the makeup and his gold glitter suit, and he's
in everyday clothes and looking like everybody else. And that's what's happening in the US right now. And I can't understand why there aren't more people against this. I can't understand why this is such a polarized issue. It's just human rights. It's just everybody has the right to live.
Someone made a point somewhere, there's lots of points going on, that, you know, people say that the system is broken and that the system is not broken, that this is how it was designed generations ago,
right,
to oppress those that are different.
Yeah.
And it needs to be reformed in a way completely. It needs to be reformed completely so that we are truly a country with equality. Because we never will be, as long as our systems are basically extensions of slavery.
Right. I've read this many times, but I think it was Will Smith that said this is nothing new, it's just people have cameras now.
Yes.
And I mean,
you're right, he said that.
Yeah. I mean, he said it far more eloquently than I just said it, but this
has been going on for all of time.
Yeah. I am so afraid for my country. I mean, I can't imagine. And I mean, I don't know. I've been around through mostly peacetime in my life.
Yes.
But I can't imagine that we've ever been in a perilous state like we are now. No. Even in the world wars, even, you know, because, I mean, maybe I guess with the Civil War, because we were fighting each other, but that's what we're doing now as well.
Right.
And it's not.
And this, of course, isn't the first time there's been rioting because a black man was killed. I mean, there were the Rodney King riots and
MLK.
And then MLK. There's been so many, but it's this is a whole new level.
Right.
Put a pandemic on top of it. It's just, people are just like, fuck it all.
I mean, you know, I mean, I'm going back to the pandemic. That, I mean, no one's hiding the fact that Trump knew about this months ahead of time.
Right.
At this point. I mean, George W. Bush gave a statement, you know, that he was working on this stuff when he was in office, and, you know, and he left office in 2009. So that's been a long time that this stuff has been, you know, that there have been be ahead of
the Obama White House.
Yeah,
had a written
to be ahead
plan
of this, and Trump got into office and got rid of the departments and the committees and all of the things that would have helped us been prepared for this. And then he still won't condemn the police officers for what they're doing. All he does is condemn the violence from the riots, and he won't say anything. So I mean, he's still not he's still not, fessing up. I mean, he is. That's the thing. He's completely okay with being a racist. He's not hiding it. He's never hidden it. No.
Oh, absolutely. And he's completely okay with people showing
Right.
up in full body armor and AK-47s to state capitals because they
Right.
don't want to wear a mask. But God forbid people are being killed in the streets by the
Right.
people we were supposed to trust. Like, he's totally fine with it. And the people who support him are too.
Yeah, and so that's what this week I've weeded out my so-called friends because I don't want friends that are going to support Trump. I'm over it. The gloves are off. If you're going to vote for a racist, you're a racist. And explain to me how you're not. And no one can. No one's.
Right.
I have felt that the people that have tried to defend themselves as saying they're not racist, they're not able to be articulate. They're not able to complete full sentences. They can't say anything more than the hatred, and that's just
right.
It's just awful.
Well, I've watched some of your discussions on Facebook. They get to
They
a point
can't,
where
and
they can
they
no longer
all
reply to you because they don't have an answer. They don't have an answer.
And I mean, I really have. I'm just like, if you don't like my views, then go away, because I really, really don't want people in my life like that.
Yeah, this is no longer an agree to disagree.
No, not at all.
Well, we can agree to disagree on tax reform.
Absolutely.
And on
Those
are. And
I do think the healthcare thing has an element of racism in it. But that said, we will discuss that.
Oh,
right.
So does tax reform.
Oh my God, of course it does.
Everything does.
It's just, I hate it here. I hate my country right now, which is so awful to say it, but it's true. And my family came here to escape this shit in Eastern Europe. And, 100 years later, not even 100 years, but close to it. We're back in the same place. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I should go back to Eastern Europe. Yeah, or Western Europe more specifically. I'd rather go there, but
yeah, I'll go there.
We're gonna have like a compound, and
well, should we
you're all more than welcome to visit us.
Exactly. Once this COVID's over,
you can have asylum with us.
Well, let's exactly. Well, let's let these fine people start doing some research and sign some petitions and make some donations.
As always, thank you for listening, and
check out.
Just do everything you can. This is not okay. Yeah. This is not what our country is about.
No, it's not yet. I feel that our true underlying colors are glowing through, and it is so hateful. And we all have to stand up and make our voices very loud. Or else this will not go away.
And obviously it's, in the name of love.
What more?
In the name of love.
In the name of love.
Okay, everyone. Stay safe.
Resistance, y'all. We're love fighting for existence.
It's like these words were just handed to us. Where did they even come from?
I know.
Right. Exactly. So obviously, thank you.
Okay,
thank you, Bono, as well.
Stay safe.
We'd love to hear from you specifically.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, stay safe. Take care, everyone.
Just throwing that out there.
Good night.
Be well, stay safe, wear your mask.
Fight the fight.
And Keep fighting. Good night.
Hey there, friends. Jenny here from the Garden Tarts, and I want to tell you about Anchor, which is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it is 100% free, and there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will even distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard across multiple platforms, including Spotify and Apple. You can make money with your podcast, and it's everything you need to create a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Also, we love hearing from people and chatting with people, and of course, we love talking you too. So you can drop us a line on Instagram or Twitter at _Garden Tarts, or you can even email us at wearethegardentarts@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you soon. If you enjoy this podcast, we would love it if you would share it with your other YouTube-loving friends, as well as leave a review for us on whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts. We would really, really love that. May your music be loud and your whiskey be strong. Until next time, cheers.